Welcome to SpellCast, the Gaming Wizards podcast.
More like a lame cast.
And apparently that's what we're starting off with. Okay.
I'm sorry. I got it in my head earlier when we brought up the lamekin, and I couldn't not do it.
This episode's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock, feels like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, normally we're not half this loopy at this time, but...
We've definitely recorded later than this.
Oh, yeah.
And been fine.
But I think we're at that point, because there's that point in the night where you kind of like dip down and you're starting to get a little out of it and you're not fully conscious and kind of loopy.
And that's usually when you decide to just go the fuck to sleep anyway.
Yeah. But, if you work past that, you hit your second wind and you're good to go for another, 4 hours. And I think usually we hit that second wind, in the middle of a playthrough.
Yeah, that's true. Now that I think about it.
But we kind of hit that
but in this
dipping
case,
point in between recordings.
And, yeah, and because we did play, but without recording it because of some technical issues with a certain game, that itself is frustrating and emotionally draining.
Yeah.
So it just completely canceled out any energy that we would have had for more recording.
Yeah, this probably will go up before that point of Jedi.
Yeah, I think so, because we're finishing Castlevania this week, and then starting Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And then... We're going to go with Shadow of the Colossus or start Jedi Power Battles after that?
I think we should go ahead and start up Shadow, just so, words.
Yeah.
We should start up Shadow since that was previously started.
Yeah.
So, we should, get that going again.
It went away for a while, and I think we discussed this on the previous Spellcast, but we just kind of said, fuck it to animating goddamn anything.
Yeah. I would still love to do it, it's just, time, you know? With us both working now, you don't have the time for it. You didn't really have time for it before anyway, because you had classes constantly.
Yeah, well, yeah, even that, yeah.
But, yeah, it's just, it's a huge investment, and me, I probably have the time. I don't have the attention span, though. That's my, major personality flaw, is I can't finish things solo.
Yeah, I understand that. Unless you feel like there's a reason that you have to do it. Because, normally... I have Flash animations from, 5 years ago that I started and just never made any progress with. But then I sat down and did that announcement video for the animated Shadow of the Colossus that ended up never happening, but I did that in 3 days.
Yeah.
And that was 3 or 4 minutes, I think, of straight animation, or I guess more like an animatic, really, but yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and I think, Gaming Wizards, I think, is probably a bigger success as far as, actually getting stuff done, from my point of view, because, if I were to try to do a Let's Play channel solo, I maybe would have recorded, a game and then not recorded a game for, a year. Kind of like how my, main channel is.
Yeah.
Where it's here's Slender, fast forward, a year later, here's some Super Meat Boy, and, I don't have the focus for it, but I'm hoping to fix that, but we'll see how that goes.
It won't go.
But yeah, having, some other reason to get stuff done, because it's a joint thing we do, it's easier for me to get stuff done for it.
Yeah.
That said, I do need to work on that thumbnail art.
For Jedi Power Battles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still no rush for that, though. We've still got, at least a week of of stuff to go up before we even get to that.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. I'm like in that, like, I kind of know what I want to do with it, but I don't know.
Just do sketchy concept art and see what looks okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make the most sense.
It would. That's
sense. Look at you, crazy person.
That's usually how people who do art do it. They sketch little kind of like rough stuff.
Rough draft.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, this one looks good, and this one looks pretty cool too. Maybe I'll decide between these two for the final version. And then they'll do a little more detailed versions of each one, and it's like, yeah, I like this one, definitely. And that's the final version.
It's like my character designs for Gun Wizard.
Yeah.
I have like 7 sketches.
It's like
of
any
him.
concept art for anything ever.
Yeah.
That's
true.
That's why it's concept art.
Yeah.
It is art that demonstrates a concept.
What?
I know, right?
What?
It's like words actually mean the things that they are.
Dude, I don't think I'm conscious enough to like comprehend what you just said.
No, see, you're in exactly the right state of mind to comprehend the universe.
That explains everything. It all makes sense now.
But then you start trying to understand it, and it, like, goes away, and you, like, fall asleep or something.
Yeah. I'm in that... I don't know about you, but I'm definitely in that, like, point of the night where I will have trains of thought, and they'll just completely disappear halfway through, like, the sentence.
They derail with no survivors.
Yeah, basically. Like... I guarantee you at some point while we're talking, I'll start a sentence, and like halfway through I'll just stop and be like, what was I talking about?
Like, wouldn't it be weird if cats could talk?
That would be weird.
We're gonna go off on this tangent, aren't we?
Well,
it's just like, what's something completely unrelated that we could just suddenly go into, and then we're actually gonna do it.
Well, like, thinking about my cats, like, Shadow would probably, like, have a deeper voice. I kind of picture him sounding like the king in The Cat Returns, so he'd sound like Tim Curry. And,
hello.
You know, he'd ask for food a lot. He'd be like, so when do I get a steak? And I'd have to explain to him that he's a cat, and that he shouldn't be eating human food because he's really old. And I don't want him to die because he's super fat. But he'd probably be like, but I want steak. And I'd be like, you can't have any.
But he'd be like, but I want it. But you'd be like, you can't have it. And then this would just go on and on for like an hour.
Pretty much. Yeah, no, that pretty much sums it up.
You need to get a job. Meow.
No, that'd be Spot. Yeah.
They feed me human, I'm lazy.
I always kind of wanted to compare Spot to Rarity. Because he's like, but I thought you wanted whining.
Why else would you imitate my whining back at me? To demonstrate how annoying it is? Oh. That's just like, end on that note. Oh.
That cat is so funny. The way he's really weird. Like, everyone will be in one room, and instead of going to, like, those people to, like, get attention, he'll leave the room, get halfway down the hallway, and then he'll start whining. Like, why is no one following me? Where did everyone go?
I thought I was the leader here. Aren't you my minions? I command you to follow me.
I guess he's kind of like Claptrap. Thinks
Minion!
everyone is his minion.
Oh, man.
There's actually speaking of that, in Monster Hunter, there's like these little, they're called like shakalaka or something, I don't know, there's these weird little creatures that you can get to, like join you, and you can have them help you on quests and stuff when you're solo. And one of them refers to you as his minion.
Oh.
Like, you find him out in like the woods or whatever, and like save him, and it's like, if you practice, you'll one day become a great hunter like Cha-Cha. It's like, shut up, you little thing. They are useful, though. Like, you can give them different masks that give them different abilities. Like, the one I'm using, like, I can, instead of carrying around a grill to cook meat, I can use him as my grill to cook meat. Because his mask is basically just a big grill that he wears on his head.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the more useful ones is he serves as a trap, so you can have himself you can have him walk somewhere and deploy himself as a trap. And it works like a pitfall trap, so the monster walks over and falls in until it gets out, and you can just wail on it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very convenient because you can normally only carry a couple traps with you, so he gives you a free trap. So that's nice. Those games are awful, though. Awful in a good way.
Oh.
Like Terraria or Minecraft. You're going to waste a lot of time grinding, but you're never really going to feel like that time was wasted. You're just going to accept it as part of the experience.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe that's just me. I mean, I'm kind of curious how many hours I've spent in Minecraft at this point.
Yeah, see, I mean, at least in Minecraft, you can always just run into creative mode and just build the fuck out of something. Just
like I started doing with my item sorter, because screw gathering materials for that thing solo.
Yeah.
If I wasn't solo, I would build it legitly. But since I'm solo, even though it's a server and plenty of people have access to it, no one, a couple of people have gotten on, looked around, and gotten off. No one actually attempts to start doing anything. So, even though there were people there before I was fully established, I've gotten to that point where I just fully established everything by myself, and I'm like, I don't know what to do now. Build an item sorter? That's going to take a lot of materials. The guy who
comes in, builds one thing, and then never logs in again.
Yeah. Usually something, massive in creative mode, like a pillar.
Yeah. With obstacles and traps inside it. Ideally...
Did I tell you what happened when I finally climbed that thing?
What happened?
So, I'm, spiraling up it with dirt, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, I know there's going to be silverfish up there if I, break the one in the middle and, just try to get through them quickly. Maybe I can, get through without having to really deal with it. So I get to the top and a creeper spawned up there.
Oh.
So it exploded and set off, all of the silverfish at once. So I basically was just in this panicked run trying to avoid getting knocked off while trying to get into the hole in the middle. Oh, dude.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, because in the time it took me to get up there, I think it took 2 in-game days.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awful. I was like, God damn it.
So, to clarify, what I did was I built a circular pillar, a decent-sized circular pillar, from ground level all the way to the sky, pretty much, and covered the top of it with, 2 layers of cobblestone silverfish, and there's a hole that leads to the inside, which is basically a long drop, so if you land on the treasure, you die from fall damage. So the idea was that you had to, in midair, go around the treasure, hit the slime blocks in the bottom, and bounce up to the treasure level. And there's also walls of lava preventing you from tunneling in.
Yeah. What I ended up doing was, because I did make it to the center without dying, despite all that being set off at once. I didn't quite make it on the platform from bouncing off the slime blocks, so I just, stopped my bounce, and I just built a pillar of dirt up there.
Oh.
And then to get out, I just, I dug out all the slime, and then I dug, a tunnel under the thing.
You dirty cheater.
Yeah, a little bit. And, I had that realization of, I I could have just tunneled under it this whole time.
But that wouldn't have been in the spirit of things.
Yeah, it would have. It was kind of cool. The one thing I did like that you had put was the like the first thing you did that I found, where it was just like the chest, but it had like the monster eggs around it. So, like you go to break the little thing of cobblestone, and suddenly the silverfish start coming at you one at a time.
Oh yeah, the little pyramid that I made.
Yeah, a little mini pyramid.
Yeah,
like it's a cool little obstacle, and I can see that being something that could be put in the world, like as like a regular spawn kind of thing.
Yeah, just
I think it'd be kind of
a little pile of monster eggs that maybe there's something good in that treasure chest.
Yeah.
It is a stick and a piece of coal.
Yeah, just little like mini cobblestone pyramid that's all monster eggs. It's like, oh.
Do you dare face the challenge of the silverfish? I mean, it's no big deal if you don't. I mean, they're kind of nasty little assholes, but...
Yeah, they're not the worst thing to deal with, but
if there's a lot of them,
kind of obnoxious.
If there's a lot of them, they can be a pain in the ass.
In our first server, so there was this really cool cave, and I was like, we should build something in here. This cave is awesome. We just kind of ended up turning it into like a big storage room that was like our central hub, but that's besides the point.
Mm-hmm.
I had built like a little hole in the wall that was like my like little house area or whatever. Well, eventually I went and found another cave that I wanted to build in, built my house there, and I had built a like tunnel there, like rail track that you could take using like where my little home in the cave was as like the railway hub.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually we started connecting everyone's house to that. And as more people were getting on the server, we of course had to make more tunnels. So I'm working on expanding the thing, and there was a bunch of silverfish in there. Oh. So like I start breaking them and they just start popping out. I'm like, really? So this whole time, like this is like 10 feet from the spawn, this big old cave, and the area where I decide to build happened to have a bunch of silverfish.
Sucks to be you.
I kind of missed that server though. That was like one of the first things we had was a mob spawner, and then the game updated. They added hoppers, and that's when we made everything crazy. Like we built an iron golem farm before hoppers, but we were able to then set it to where it automatically killed the golems instead of us having to go like manually kill them every once in a while. And we were able to have all that get fed through like a giant chain of hoppers all the way back to the central base and like sort out the roses into a separate chest and the iron into one. Yeah, we had a lot of iron. We started just like I started just building random stuff out of iron. I was like, what do we not have? We don't have a sugarcane farm. I'll build it out of iron blocks. Because we just had so much iron. We started with like 2 towers of iron golem spawner. At the end, we had 8 towers. So 16 villages spawning iron golems. All getting automatically killed by like a piston puncher.
I remember when pistons were a new thing. Just like... There's such a integral part of redstone engineering now that it's easy to forget that there was an update where they were added to the game.
Do you remember your first experience with Minecraft?
I do. It was... I think it might have been before it was even named Minecraft. Like, there was a website where you could play it, like, in your browser. And it was like creative mode. You could have, like, anything you wanted, like, an infinite amount of it.
Yeah.
But there wasn't, like, instant block breaking. So you still had to punch through individual blocks. And the world was, like, 64 by 64 blocks. Or something like that. It was really tiny. And there were no mobs. It was just run around, build stuff, break stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. And what did you think of it back then?
I spent probably an hour just fucking around with it, and then forgot about it.
Nice.
And then Minecraft started being a thing, and like, I probably would not have gotten into it if it wasn't, because they were having, like, server issues during, like, pre-alpha or something like that. so they'll just let everybody play it for free, because why the fuck not? So I hadn't even bought the game yet. I was just playing around with it for free, and I built like all this crazy stuff. And I was like, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and buy this, and everybody should play this game. And now everybody plays the fucking game.
I
still have my first world.
There was a website that had a demo of the game. I think it was like IGN or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like that was the version I first tried out. And I kind of got in the game and I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, this game kind of sucks. And I think it was you later who ended up getting me the game. And like both of us kind of played a little bit on like a first like world together. And you kind of showed me like, this is how you do things.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's Minecraft's one flaw is there's like no way to learn the game. You either look it up or have someone teach you. The game doesn't teach you itself. Like,
yeah, that is a thing. It like you don't know off the bat how to do anything except like break blocks, and then from there it's like, oh, I can pick up the blocks I break. Oh, I can place the blocks I break. I should build a quick little house to live in because I can.
And it's made out of like dirt and like wood blocks.
Pretty much, yeah.
Not even planks, wood blocks.
And I mean, you could learn a lot from just experimenting, I guess, because like in the inventory window, you have like the 2x2 crafting thing.
Yeah.
And if you can learn inventory manipulation, like click and drag to do stuff, I mean, it's fairly easy. Oh, I'm supposed to put things in here. What happens if I put 4 blocks of wood in there? Oh, I made something. It's another block. What can I do with this block? And then it just goes on from there.
I feel like that's the biggest hurdle is figuring out how to make wooden planks and how to make the first crafting table. Like once you figure that out, everything else kind of like fits together.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of people I know who like when they first start playing the game, like they don't comprehend that because it's not made clear at all that that's what you do.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, I did like need the basic form of a strategy guide to tell me like, oh, you can craft things. That's cool. Oh, you have to craft a thing so you can craft things. That makes sense. How do I do that? Oh, I can make planks out of logs. I get it now. And then it just,
Yeah.
But just, like, I think knowing at all that you can craft things.
Yeah.
Like, once you figured that out, it just...
It definitely helps once you figure that out. Yeah, when they added writable books, one of the things I did on, like, our first server was I wrote, like, a little mini how-to book. Like, I had a little corner that was, like, how-to, and it had... basically what I did was I used chests, and I, like, displayed, like, the patterns for how to build stuff, like, in the chest. So, like, 3 blocks wood, 2 blocks, alright, that chest was labeled, like, pickaxe or whatever. So just kind of show how you arrange stuff on the crafting grid. And then I had a book in there, and the book was, like, how-to, and it's like, step 1, punch trees. Step 2, go to the wiki.
Yeah, that's Minecraft in a nutshell. And then a year later, step 4, install mods. Repeat. Like, read the wiki for this mod. Read the wiki for this mod. Read the wiki for the 2 mods and how they work together.
And then somewhere down there you have a step that's like, go back to playing vanilla because all these mods are too complicated.
Yeah, really. Step 5, build nuclear reactor.
That would be a book in and of itself. That's one thing, is the little, like, Minecraft, like, books they released. Those are actually pretty useful. There's, like, a Essentials handbook that they made. And that actually gets you through, like, your first night pretty effectively. Like, this is how you craft. And it's like, this is something that they should have incorporated in the game, I still think. But the book is nice because it's cheap and it's, like, it's kind of cool. It has some little, like, tidbits of, like, extra stuff in there, too. So
yeah. I mean, they have like the writable, readable books in the game now, so it's not hard to just like when you start a new world, it starts you with a book written in your inventory that's like, "Welcome to Minecraft. Here's how you do shit. Right click this, click that to punch things," and it's just a very basic overview. Oh, by the way, you could craft things with that little 2x2 square in your inventory.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be too hard to incorporate.
Step 6: program a working supercomputer using redstone only.
Shouldn't you be like, I don't know, curing cancer or something?
Step 7: simulate the exact function of an atom. Step 8: create universe.
Yeah, really. The stuff people have done in Minecraft is like mind-blowing. But I want to play more Minecraft again. I want to convince people to hop on a server again because it's been a while. But so they changed realms to where now you can have 3 different worlds like loaded on the realm, and you can like switch between them by just pulling up the config and like clicking them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I have this world seed. So I set it to have amplified biomes. I spawned on an island.
Oh. A tall island?
A tall island. Like,
nice.
The island is like a little mountain in the middle of an ocean.
That's
amplified ocean.
That's amazing.
I'm like,
you've got like,
this is the perfect survival island. Like, basically, all I had to do was plant some trees, like in creative, because there were no trees on the island.
It was like Hyrule from Wind Waker.
There was lava on the island too. Like, there's like a lava spout coming out one end, and then there were, I think, a couple of animals on there, and it's like, all this needs is a couple trees, and this would be perfect for being like, hey guys, let's play some Survival Island in amplified island mode. So,
Survival Islands are always fun.
I haven't really gotten a chance to do Survival Islands.
I did.
Like, I've always wanted to try it because, like, the concept of surviving on minimal resources is interesting to me. Like, I really wanted to try Skyblock at some point. But
I did a Survival Island like a while ago with a seed. Someone like had posted. I think it might have been on Reddit. I don't remember, but yeah, it was like a reasonable sized island with 1 tree, and I built an island shack, and it's got a basement. And it went pretty well. Like, and then there was another island reasonable distance away that I built a bridge to, and that was where I put my nether portal.
Nice.
And I found an underwater chasm.
Oh.
Or like it was partly under like there's an island that was attached to it, so it was partially like flooded or something. It was an interesting design that came up in like the generation or something. But yeah,
that's cool.
I liked that world. I think I still have like every Minecraft world I've ever used for anything.
Yeah, I have. I think all of mine. I might be missing one, but I actually had an interesting island map spawn. So the world that I ended up using for my Minecraft realm, the one where like there's a water temple like 10 feet from the spawn, and there's like a village that was like just north. The one where I went crazy doing stuff solo. So when I was entering, because I had saved that world seed from a previous world generation, because I really liked that, like, oh hey, there's a water temple right the fuck here. Well, when I was entering it, for whatever reason, I thought it was negative. So when I entered the world seed, I put a minus. And it turns out that the minus version of that world seed is a, like, little island. It's like one little island and, like, a tiny little strip of sand over here.
Wow.
With, like, a tree on it. And I'm like, that's not bad. I'll have to remember that. So, wouldn't mind trying that one out either, but I do kind of like the amplified, like, mountain island. You start, like, halfway up the mountain, just, like, looking down at water, and you're like,
oh!
Alright.
Okay.
But,
sounds like
good times.
Sounds like a world like that with tall islands. That has so much potential. Like, I can think of a million things to build on things like that.
I like the amplified biome setting because you get this really cool world generation. It's like, man, imagine all the cool things you could build like throughout this, just based on the geometry of the world, how it spawned.
Exactly.
I still want to build like something big and cool. Like, I have started a castle on 4 different worlds. And the farthest I've gotten was one of my friends was running a realm, and I got like the entrance hall done with like a stairway that would go up to the 2nd floor. I got like the flooring for that done, and then I had the library. I had another like room off to the side that was it was a 4 stack of sugarcane farms. That thing was producing way more sugarcane than I needed. It was actually becoming a problem because like the chest was full of sugarcane, and like the hoppers that were collecting it going all the way back like to, because there was 2 side by side,
full too.
And then there was like 2 on top that like went down into those. The one in the middle where like everything would flow into, that one was full.
Oh.
So like, that means the 2 on the bottom floor were going to start not going anywhere. And then the 2 on the top still had a couple of hoppers to go through for, like, going down into it. But, yeah, I was backed up all the way to that point. I was like, huh. Well. I might want to trash some of this or something. Throw it in an incinerator. But, yeah, that was the farthest I ever got. And, like, the 2nd floor, like, when you walked up the stairs, because it was, like, 2 staircases that, like, met in the middle and then, like, bridged across into, like, a main floor area. I had this really cool, like, window. It was a simple window, but it was cool. And that was it. That was the farthest I ever got in my, like, building an epic castle plan. My biggest issue is when I build buildings, I tend to just make cubes.
Yeah.
I can't make interesting shapes. It's hard to, like, be like, if I do it like this... like, I can do interiors, though.
Yeah, I know
I can make interiors look awesome.
Like, I have that one... like, gigantic fortress castle thing that I built. The inside looks pretty damn good. The outside, it's like 2 cylinders.
I still think that one looks good, though. That's the one where you have, like, the 3 towers that are in different biomes?
Yeah, the wall came out okay, but it's still, like, pretty flat. Like, if I want to redo that wall, like, with... I think I showed you the wall design that I had, like, in my redstone test world. Where it's like, yeah, it's kind of got the indentations. If I had the time and patience, I would redo that wall with that, like, design.
I think what we should do is, like, we should both work on a big build like that, like a big castle build, and, you know, we can, like, both work on it, because the wall is a really simple pattern. I think I even have, like, a example of it placed in my, like, creative world. And, we could build something sweet, man.
We totally could.
And then we can, like, the interior will look all amazing, and we just have to, like, get our exterior to match that.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
So we build the interior first, somehow.
Somehow.
Build the inside first, and then put the outside around it.
Well, the last time I had tried to work on my castle idea, I started doing, like, sketches of what I wanted, like, certain rooms to look like. So, clearly we plan out the rooms, and then we think, alright, how do we connect these? Because the thing I really liked about your, that double cylinder one with the walls was, you had a lot of secret passages that were, like, really clever.
That was also really fun to do.
And I want to have the room to have secret passages, like, throughout it, because I think that stuff is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I also did my desert palace thing too, and the exterior of that actually looked okay because
you had it was
really open, like really big windows.
Yeah, like you had like the big wall going around it, and like when you came in, you had like a little like garden thing or whatever going off to the side. It looked cool, like walking up to it.
I cheated the hell out of building part of that with MC Edit. Like I copy and pasted a lot of stuff, but yeah.
I've done that for a few things where it's just like I'm basically just building a giant wall.
Yeah, I am not individually placing 8,000 blocks of fucking quartz. I'm going to build this circle and extrude it upward.
Well, how like the dragon roller coaster thing that you helped me a bit on, because I wanted to put the fence posts like under the thing so it actually looked like it was held up and supported.
Yeah.
I put most of those in with MC Edit because I'm like, this is just gonna take forever. Fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this in like 10 seconds. Good to go.
And people would complain about it's like what?
It's literally just building wall.
Like I could understand like using it to generate something that would take skill to build.
Yeah.
Versus just doing something that would just be repetitive. Like copy and pasting the same wall. The only thing that does is save you time.
Yeah.
It doesn't like you still had to build the wall to begin with. Building it 20,000 more times isn't going to prove anything to anybody. Except that you have a fondness for tedious tasks.
Which, to be fair, I'm usually the one who elects to do tedious tasks. Like, on all the Tekkit worlds we've done in the past, I'm usually the one who goes and finds those, like, the huge, like, 3x3 trees, like, climbs up through the middle of them to get to the top, and just slowly, like, one layer at a time, clears every piece of wood out so that there's no, like, little bits left up in the thing. Because those things were fucking complex with how they branched out.
Yeah.
Which was cool, but it was also obnoxious when you're trying to clear a space.
They were fun to build tree houses in.
They were.
Like, on the last Tekkit world I did, my main base was just a gigantic tree, like, mansion.
I'm not a big fan of new Tekkit. I kind of miss old Tekkit.
Old Tekkit was the one with, like, the alchemy and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I could live without alchemy. Like,
I liked it, honestly. It was...
I liked it. Like, the way I looked at it, it was creative mode that you had to earn.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like working toward creative mode, and you unlock unlimited power. It can build anything the fuck you want.
But you still have to find that thing, which was...
Yeah, you still have to get, like, all the materials and collect all the energy, which takes fucking forever, even if you have, like, level 3 collectors.
Yeah, like, you do hit a point where it's just like, yeah, I can make 10 million diamonds, like, a second. Whatever, I don't care.
I just need to let this run overnight while it generates me one piece of red matter.
Yeah, like, you do hit that point, though, where it's just, like, almost instant generating stuff. But, like, it was still something you had to work towards. So it's kind of like a goal, like, I'm going to get creative mode.
Yeah.
But the thing I really liked was the saws and, like, the micro blocks.
Oh, yeah, huh.
That and the wiring. Because you could basically, like, design wiring, like, to power your thing, and then you could build, like, the wall over the wiring, so you couldn't see the wiring and you still had, like, a wall there, and you didn't have to have all this weird, like...
Yeah, it was amazing. God,
chunk sitting out of the side of your thing. I need to
revisit some of my old Tekkit worlds just to see some of the stuff I built, because I remember it being amazing.
I want to revisit the one where, like, it was Comic Shortsia, that one. I want to revisit that one.
The little city that we had?
Yeah.
And I had my lab
my favorite
on top
thing...
of my nuclear reactor that backed up with the ice.
That was awful, by the way. It's okay. It's not the worst I've had to deal with.
Still not as bad as the solar voltage array factory or something?
Yeah, Corey tried to build a... high-powered solar array factory because there were the autocrafters, and one of the most efficient electricity sources was solar panels because you just gain energy during the day. Mm-hmm. But you could take those solar panels and, like, combine them into a solar array, and that was even more efficient. But then you could take those solar arrays, combine a bunch of those into medium solar arrays. Then you could take a bunch of those and combine them into high-powered solar arrays.
So you're basically fitting more solar panels into a single block.
Yeah. And there were a bunch of, like, other, like, little things you had to make off to the side. So Corey found a thing that was how to make a high-voltage solar array factory. And it involved a lot of, like, really precise timing on the redstone and stuff, and, like, a lot of, like, specific things going into stuff. Let's just say it didn't work out. He tried to build it,
lagged the server to death.
It was so bad. Like, okay, there was a little server lag because I was running the server off my computer. there was a little server lag for anyone who wasn't me anyway, because, they had to connect to me through Hamachi. It was so bad that, I had to go in solo, and it still took me, an hour to turn the thing off, because I was lagging.
Wow.
My computer couldn't keep up with it. My 16 gigs of RAM couldn't keep up with it.
So at least my reactor getting backed up with ice wasn't the worst thing to happen to the server.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I eventually, shut everything down, turned off all the machines, so... Because what it was sending items to, the different, things that had to be built. But the problem was, there were more items being produced than, the speed at which it was crafting the other stuff. And items would end up going to the wrong places because stuff would get backed up.
Oh.
Which it wasn't supposed to do that, but, he tried to fix it, multiple times, but eventually, he turned it on, and then I couldn't get into the world. I was like, so it just crashed for me. What did you do? Good times. I want to play Minecraft now.
I want to play fucking Tekkit now. Or one of those industrial kind of mods. Why don't I build a nuclear reactor?
Yeah. The thing I liked the most, like I said, was the microblocks, because you could build, cool, detailed things without having them to be ginormous. You could scale everything kind of down to a fourth of the size you would normally have to build it at, which was huge when you really take it into account.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I hit that point where it's yeah, the mods are cool and stuff, but there's so much... there's cool stuff you can do, but there's so much complexity to actually doing that I would rather just do, the cool stuff you can do with vanilla.
Yeah.
The stuff you can do with hoppers and all that is really neat. I think item sorters are, amazing. Because I'm the one person usually in, our circle that actually sorts items. They tend to just dump everything into one chest. So, usually when we have a world, what it is I have, specific chests for everything. So if you're looking for this, you know exactly where it is. It's labeled. And then there's a chest off to the side, and it's the dump your shit here, you lazy fucker chest. Something to that effect. It's usually just... It's the dump chest. There's usually, 3 of them, just a little stack of them. So, when they go down into the tunnels mining for, a week, and then they come back up, and they just dump a bunch of stuff, and then they go right back down to mining. Back when you could still do, the X-ray glitch by, pushing glowstone into you, we looked at the tunnels underneath that server, and it was just, as far as the eye could see, just tunnels. Just one, main thing, and then just a bunch of branching paths. Oh my god. This is like a dwarven mine.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was pretty intense. It was really cool to look at. What got interesting was, there was one world where I wanted more cobblestone. I think we were building something out of, stone brick. So I needed more cobblestone to smelt into stone to make stone brick. So I started just mining, the walls between the tunnels. So eventually it just ended up being this big open room.
Wow.
And it was just I can't see the end. That's kind of what my world looks like, but you can actually see the end of where, I stopped. His, they go forever. He goes down there with, an inventory full of picks and comes back with an inventory full of materials.
Having mining robots just
Basically.
Go down, dig out this far, come back, dump your shit, go back, dig this far, come back, drop your shit.
Basically. They usually put on a stream or some video or something, Netflix, and they just go mining while they're watching stuff.
Hell, I usually have Netflix open when I'm playing Minecraft just in general, just to have it open.
more recently, I've been putting like YouTube videos on my other monitor just to have like the background noise of like the Game Grumps or whatever.
Yeah.
But generally, like I can't like watch something, like actively watch it while playing Minecraft because I'm too busy paying attention to like where like ores are and stuff. I get focused on the game, and I lose hours to it. That's why I don't mine often, because...
I guess I usually do the Netflix thing when I'm in creative mode and building something that's, like, really big. Or digging it, like... I remember a build I was messing around with where... Oh, no, it was, I think I showed you that in my missile silo that's, like, all the way down to bedrock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like...
That thing was awesome.
Yeah. Half of Battlestar Galactica while I was doing that.
Nice.
Yeah. I can measure my Minecraft builds in Netflix series.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
See, what you gotta do is you gotta find something that you want to watch that you haven't started yet, and we'll see how many episodes in you get before we finish like a big like co-op build.
Yeah.
Like, I know a couple other people, the friend who I actually borrowed the microphone we're using right now from, he prefers creative mode.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we could probably, like, if we wanted to do, like, some sort of monument building, we could probably get, like, a group together for that purpose. Because I know a couple people who prefer that.
Nice.
So, I think we should do it.
I know exactly what we should build. The entire city planet of Coruscant.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Exactly.
Like, maybe we should start, like, a little smaller and then, like, work our way up to that.
The entire continent of Middle-earth?
A little smaller.
The Shire?
I still think that might be too big. Like something that, you know, you could sit in the middle of and actually see, like, the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, something that's within render distance.
Yeah, okay. So, like, I'm trying to think of things that are big but not ungodly huge.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, really cool structures in games. Like, something that would be awesome to build. Oh, one thing we actually talked about that I tried to convince him is we should build, like, a 2-scale Gurren Lagann.
Like, yeah, I could see that. Like, the one that the first two combined into, right?
Yeah.
Not, like...
No, not Tengen Toppa. That won't fit in the height limit. We'll get, like, its toe. And, like...
You would get, like, its toenail.
Yeah, like... We'll get, like, the like, you know, bottom pixel of its foot, and, you know, it'll go beyond the vision range. It'll basically just be a big block of red.
Yeah. Clearly what we need to do is assemble the individual Minecraft worlds into Minecraft blocks and build it using those.
Oh, you know what I wish? I wish, Minecraft Realms could use mods. Like, they're still not set up to be able to do that.
Oh, yeah?
Because, you know what would be awesome? To do the little blocks in the Gulliver mod. So we could build, like, really detailed stuff that was, like, massive in scale, but it's in, like, super tiny form.
Have, like, a tiny little, like, Smurf village in the middle of the forest.
Yeah.
And everybody's all tiny.
Because I remember when I came across the video for that, I was like, oh my god, think of all the possibilities. Like, I could make, like, a person-sized statue that actually had details and wasn't just, like, stairs with a block with stairs.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is supposed to be a suit of armor, don't question it. Like, I
I'm
could actually
questioning it.
build, like, a suit of armor, and I'd have, I want to say, like, 190 blocks worth of space to, like, work with.
Yeah.
So it would be like building a big build, but it would only be like 3 blocks tall when you're full sized. I really want to mess with that mod, but it, like, every time I've looked at it, it's been out of date. like, it does get updated. I haven't checked it in a while. I don't know if it's been updated to, like, 1.8 or not, but it does get updated from time to time, but it's every time I look at it, it's, like, behind a couple versions.
Lame.
Yeah. I should check that, actually. When we're done, I will check that.
Should totally, like, remake your Discord statue, like, in full detail.
I would love to. That thing came out awesome as is.
It did.
Like, given the because there were some limitations that I had to try to work around, but I was able to get it looking, like, recognizable, which was pretty sweet for me.
Yeah.
I was happy. That may be my single, like, greatest Minecraft achievement. It's so small, but it's, like, it came out so good. Yeah, like, the two best things I've built are, like, that statue and the recreation of the castle from Embrick.
I liked my secret laboratory with my, like, alarm-rigged nuclear warhead stash. That I never planned on using for anything. It's just like, yeah, I have these, don't question it.
It was funny. It was kind of unfortunate, like, because around the time I started that, like, city world, basically, Guild Wars 2 came out.
Oh, that's what
and
it
a
was,
bunch of people started playing that. So, like, there were people who, like, started building stuff. There were people who did build stuff, but were going to build, like, different stuff because they didn't like how their stuff turned out. And, like, Kevin had 2 different houses, and then Corey built his giant golden tower that became a mess. I don't want to talk about it. But, it was partially my fault that it became a mess, so I'm not going to blame him. But it took a while to clean that up. But, yeah, everyone started playing Guild Wars 2 and stopped playing Minecraft, like, at that time. So there were a lot of things I wanted to do with that server that I never did. Like, I wanted to run events on it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, remember we built the Slender Forest?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do, like, a, like, Slender Forest event thing. Like, time attack. Everyone goes through one at a time with someone else in there chasing them and see if they can, like, how many pages they can collect and if they die or not.
You still have the world file for that, right?
I should.
Cool.
Like, the hard part would be finding the correct version of Tekkit to actually run it.
Yeah. Still, it'd be cool if we could get it, like, even if it's just to go in and look at everything that was built.
Yeah. Just get it looked at again.
That was the one where I built a little TARDIS, right?
Yes.
With the secret passage that went somewhere.
Yeah, so you built a TARDIS, and you initially used, like, wool blocks to build the center of it. I changed those to wool panels so that there was space inside of it, and I built a secret tunnel from my house that went into the TARDIS.
That's what it was.
Because we figured out how to use the... Tim actually figured out how to use the wireless remotes. So I set a wireless signal to, like, a wall in my house, so you'd use the right signal, the wall would open up, and you'd go through there and you'd be able to go into the TARDIS.
Nice. There was so much cool shit you could do with those mods.
Yeah. I definitely miss the wireless remotes, because it was a lot easier to hide a secret passage, because it could look like any other wall. You didn't have to have, like, a button anywhere, like, visible.
And you could set it to any frequency, which would basically be like a passcode.
Yeah.
It's like frequency 2659.
I had...
And only that one will open the door.
I think I had, like, 11 passcodes saved.
I think I had, like, 1, and that was to open the... Like...
Well, you had 4 different ones that were all, like, the same numbers, but in different orders. And it was to get into different sections. Like, there was the one that went into your basement, and then there was the one that went all the way down to the reactor, because, like, there's, like, a basement room where it's just like, yeah, there's some stuff down here.
And then I had the one that was my secret nuke stash.
Yeah. And it was the same 4 numbers, but in different orders. And then I think Tim had 2, because he figured out how to use the force fields, which were really cool. And then I had, like, so I had like all of your guys's saved in my like log, and then I had like 3 or 4 of my own. Like there was one room that I had where there was like a iron door, and if you opened the iron door and started walking in, you'd hit a pressure plate, it would close everything, and lava would come down on you. But if you had the right frequency, the wall next to the door would open up, and you could get into the room that way.
Wow.
Like it went around into the room.
That's amazingly evil.
I thought it was funny.
Like I said, amazingly evil.
Man, I remember when we made the first idiot box and like convinced someone to get in it. It's basically 4 doors with a pressure plate in the middle, and like you walk in there and the door's shut, and you know you have to, like, there's dirt blocks above you, so it's like there's like a sign like dig to get out, and you break the dirt block and lava falls on you. And like if you fell for that, like you deserved it.
Yeah.
But like we someone who pretty much saw it, like knew something was coming, like we convinced them to actually go in there. Just to say we got someone with the idiot box. And then I made a more advanced version that used iron doors and had like obsidian under it so you couldn't just dig down through it.
Wow.
Yeah. That was fun.
I like that one, like, piston machine I made where it's...
Oh, God.
Where,
the
like,
noisemaker?
Yeah, the noisemaker.
You know what was really funny about that was after you showed me that, because since I was running the server off of my computer initially, there was a section of the people who got on the server that went somewhere like way off in the distance and built their own thing.
Yeah.
Because it was really funny. There was basically like 2 groups of people, and like each group was like untrusting of the other, thinking they were going to grief each other. So, you know, we had the one group that was way out in the middle of nowhere, and then like our group that was like we would lay traps and stuff. But since I knew where both people were, I would teleport to theirs, like dig like under their floors, build one of those noisemakers, and then I'd just like refill in the thing, so they had no idea where it was coming from. I built like 3 of them at one point. I was awful. I am like the worst.
Worst admin.
Yeah, I'm the worst admin. Like, I don't do anything destructive, but I will troll you.
That is... Wow. That is something special.
I kind of want to... See, that's what I miss about people playing Minecraft. Hiding noisemakers under their door. Oh, that was the other one. There was someone who had a house way off in the distance. Like, it was him by himself, and he had pressure plates that opened his doors. So I hooked it up to where when he would go to open his door, it would start off one of those noisemakers. That was funny.
It's diabolical, man.
So he just, like, goes to his house and he starts hearing this... It's like, what the fuck?
What have I done?
Yeah, thanks for that. I got a lot of entertainment out of that.
I'm glad somebody did.
Because, like, usually the way it happened was I would get on and they'd be like, okay, so who put the... I'm like, hi.
Oh, boy.
Worth.
Oh, boy.
I remember the Piston Elevators people tried to build on that server, too.
Oh.
Corey had one that initially worked, an update happened, it broke it, and it basically just became a death trap. Like, if you tried to use it, you died.
Wow.
It's like, I'm gonna go up, and suffocate. There was no way out.
And I am being crushed to death by pistons.
Or if you tried to go down, like, everything would just, like, you'd just fall.
Because they open too fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good times.
Good times.
So we talked about Minecraft for an hour?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We just stayed on topic for an hour.
I mean, there was some different stuff we talked about in the beginning, but like a greater portion of that was just Minecraft. Good game.
I'm not even going to try and trace the conversation. Like, I don't have the mental strength to do it right now.
You can do it later.
Yeah. Well, I'll listen to the audio later, and I'm going to find out that we just sounded like...
Probably.
Like, in our heads, we sound, like, perfectly understandable and coherent. Like, everyone listening... Yeah. Like, or like, that episode of Family Guy where, like, they get drunk and they're, like, talking, like, they sound like they're just completely out of their minds drunk, but the caption, it's like they're having a perfectly reasonable argument.
I was thinking of the one where they enter the talent competition and they get all high, and like when it shows them initially, they're like doing this song and it sounds all beautiful and stuff.
Oh.
And then later it's like, how could we have lost? Well, you guys were so baked, you didn't sound nearly as good as you want. And they like it flashes back and it's just them on stage.
I forgot about that one too. Oh, we're not going to have another hour discussion of Family Guy.
No,
this has been SpellCast
done.
Episode whatever the fuck it is. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. You know those noisemakers where you spin them around and they like...
Yeah.
I could use one of those like inside it, so it like...
That would be cool. I don't think it'd be too hard to do either.
Yeah. Oh, are we test recording now?
Yeah, I'm doing the audio test.
Say butts.
Butts.
We already did that, though.
Yeah, probably. Yay, audio. Dick wave. I don't know. That does not look like a dick at all.
Dick wave.
I mean, there's like that small pause between words, but other than that, it's pretty good. I mean, you know.
Dick.
That looks like a ship.
It kind of does.
You got to make it look like a Star Destroyer. Close.
Totally do a TIE fighter.
Oh, God.
TIE fighter.
Kind of.
From the front, I meant.
Oh, okay. Kind of. It looks good. Yeah.
Making shapes with the audio wave.
What else is there to do, right? And let's make sure this is in like a normal position, I suppose.
Yes. I would be sitting approximately here.
And I'd be about here. Yeah, looks good.
At this point, the pop filter's kind of superfluous.
Yeah.
It's just there.
I just kind of got it because reasons. I mean, it's good for when I'm like using it for stuff and I have it like right there in front of me on the... Even then, it's still kind of off to the side. It's whatever.
And you can get up really close like now. And then you can get back further away.
Dick butts.
Penis.